Hello, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you my January book haul. So first of all, apologies for the different setting. When this video goes live, I am in the process of moving. I think this is actually going live on the main moving day. So my bookshelves aren't looking great. There is stuff everywhere. Those books just fell over. And this seems to be the best lighting and background I can get for a full sit-down YouTube video. I cannot wait until I don't have to deal with the car park lights anymore, because I've already had to stop filming twice in like 30 seconds to deal with headlights. And I'm just hoping that my new lighting is perfect. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. We are here to talk about the 38 books I acquired in January. January is always a big month for me. There is normally a spillover of Christmas stuff. It's also my birthday in January. And you know, January blues equal shopping. So I have a couple of categories to go through here, being random purchases I've made myself, some pre-orders, a subscription box, gifts from you lovely people when I came back from the States, and then birthday gifts and associated. So there are things in this video that are spoiled in other videos. So if you have not yet seen my birthday vlog, please do go check that out, and that'll be me opening my birthday presents. And another good one to watch is the Illumicrate Evernight unboxing, because I'm going to show you that subscription box book in this video. So starting off with random purchases I made myself, I have two books that I bought in Chicago airport on my trip home. I always hate leaving the States, and if I can buy books to perk myself up, that is what I'm going to do. So the first one I got is The Wish by Nicholas Sparks. I know nothing about this. I know that Nicholas Sparks is a very emotional author, and I kid you not, the reason I bought this book is that it's the strangest shape I have ever seen. If I just pick up another book to compare this to, it is almost as tall as a normal paperback, but so thin, it looks really weird. Okay, I'm losing the lighting over and over. But yeah, I bought this because it was weirdly shaped. There was a huge wall full of these mass market paperbacks and I wanted one. So I got an author I recognised. I know that this is supposed to be emotional and I'm here for the tears. I won't be able to talk about all these books in a lot of detail just because there are so many, so I hope that's okay. The other book that I bought in the airport was That's Not My Name by Megan Lally. This is a YA mystery thriller, and it reminds me of so many movies that I've watched that I feel like I already know where the story's going. We're following a teenager who wakes up on the side of the road and her dad comes to claim her and take her home. It sounds really creepy, and I have actually had it recommended to me since I randomly bought this, so hopefully it's good. I then bought some books directly from HarperCollins because I got a really great discount code, so jumped on that. The first one is The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This is an adult romance with a time travel element. I haven't loved time travel books, but I read In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle over Christmas and really liked it, so decided to give this one a go because everyone is raving about it. And then I bought a duology just because I've heard amazing things, and I'm hearing more and more amazing things since buying them. I have Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I know it's romance with some magical realism and it's historical. When two rival journalists find love through a magical connection, their fate depends on their facing the depths of hell together. And it says, an epic enemies to lovers fantasy novel filled with hope and heartbreak and the unparalleled power of love. I just think these are fantastic. I had such a good deal on them and had to buy them. Next up we have two pre-orders, and I'm pretty sure you're all going to guess the one pre-order that came in January, and that is House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J Maas. This is the third book in the Crescent City series, and I am nowhere near reading this. According to the Trash for Mass read along, I will not be reading this until April of next year, but I just had to get my hands on it because everyone and their mom has got it, so I also need it. There's no way I can wait and then get it later on down the line. I need a matching hardcover. Obviously this is life dependent, but I just think this looks absolutely fantastic. I'm loving the big crescent moon, and yeah, I have avoided all spoilers for this series, touch wood. I have no real wood in here, touch wood. So hopefully by the time I get to this, it's a complete surprise. The other book I pre-ordered is Destroy the Day by Bridget Kemmerer. I had planned to be up to date with this series by the time this book came out, so I've read Defy the Night. It was one of my favourite books of 2022, and then I needed to read Defend the Dawn last year and didn't get around to it, so I have Defend the Dawn and now Destroy the Day to read. I was always daunted by Defy the Night because I love Bridget Kemmerer's contemporary, and then I loved the Cursebreaker series, but just thought diving into a new fantasy world is quite scary. I love Defy the Night though, it really didn't disappoint, and I'm hoping that this one doesn't either. Well, and the second one, and then the third one. Okay, so next up, please mute me and turn off the screen in a couple of seconds if you don't want spoilers for the Evernight box by Illumicrate. I did do a full unboxing video where I show you all the features of this book, but the book that came in that box is The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. I still don't really know how you say this title, but yeah, this is my first ever book subscription service that I'm paying my own real hard-earned money for. So I was really excited to get the box, and this book did not disappoint on how beautiful it is. I don't really know too much about it apart from what I've read in like the spoiler card, so I've decided just to put it aside and not really think about it for a while, because then I will be way more surprised when it actually comes around. I love this back design and the skeleton on the sprayed edges, but yeah, just looks really fun. And don't have any immediate plans for it, and I will be getting 3 more boxes of that this year because it's a quarterly subscription. Next up, I have what I am classing as a gift from Becca, because she was gracious enough to ask me to pay for postage and nothing else, so to me that's a really fantastic gift. And I have A Strange Hymn by Laura Thalassa. This is the second book in the Rhapsodic series, and Rhapsodic was one of my favourite books of 2023. I really needed this, or the Bargainer series, not the Rhapsodic series. I again needed, as if this is life or death, the matching edition to Rhapsodic, because I think the new covers are pretty vile in comparison. So I am on the lookout for books 3 and 4. If you have them, let me know. I'm really excited to own this. I don't know how quick I'll prioritise it, because in all honesty, I've forgotten what happens at the end of Rhapsodic, but one day. And next up, before we move on to anything birthday related, we have 4 gifts from lovely people on the Bookish internet that really did not need to send me anything, but these are all gifts for when I came home from the States and I had like January blues plus missing coal blues. Just everything was upsetting. So some lovely people sent me some books. First up, we have Laura, who sent me Death of a Bookseller by Alice Slater. This was getting raved about a couple of months ago on BookTube, and I'm so glad that I finally own it. We're following Roach, a bookseller, loner and true crime fanatic, has all the company she needs in her serial killer books, murder podcasts and her pet snail Bleep. That is until Laura joins the bookshop. Apparently this is deliciously dark, unsettling and utterly addictive, and will make my skin crawl and heart pound. So very excited to read this one. I feel like I've said very excited about everyone, but seriously, this sounds so fantastic, and I'm really glad that Laura sent this my way, so thank you, Laura. Then we have some lovely gifts from Claire. The first one she sent me is A Twisted Love Story by Samantha Downing. This I'm very, very intrigued by, because the author wrote My Lovely Wife, which was an unexpected favourite from 2023. Yeah, I gave it 4.5 stars last year. I do have another of her books, For Your Own Good, which I haven't read yet, but it sounds fantastic. And this one is about a couple that continuously break up, but when they do, horrifically bad things happen, and on one of their breakups somebody died, I think is the idea. But yeah, it sounds very disturbing. And then even more disturbing from Claire is Family Business by Jonathan Sims. Again, it's a trend. I have another book by this author, which I haven't yet read, but this one is about a young woman who, her best friend dies, and then she moves to a new place looking for a fresh start and gets a job at a family-run mortuary? Oh no, sorry, a family firm that cleans up after the recently deceased. So tidying up dead people stuff. And yeah, the family business is just not what it seems, apparently, and I think this sounds fantastic. So thank you, Claire, for those. And then the final one is from Rachel, and that is Mr. Magic by Kirsten White. I was so happy to see this arrive because I was putting off reading Hyde by the same author. At the time of filming this video, I have now read Hyde and really enjoyed it despite the polarising reviews. This one has very polarising reviews also, so I'm hoping I sit on the love it side. Apparently this is a skin crawling story of pop cult fandom and 90s nostalgia, and to me, I'm technically a 90s baby. I was born in 98, but I don't really remember the 90s, so I'm hoping that this gives me the like little dose of nostalgia that I understand and enjoy. So thank you, Rachel. Next up, I had some book tokens, like national book tokens. So on my birthday I went to Waterstones and spent those. I got 2 books by the same author. So I got Betting on You and Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I thought Lynn Painter was an adult author, but I think some of her books cross over the YA to adult line. They definitely give me more adult vibes. This one was shelved as YA, this one was shelved as adult. I really don't know. I don't know too much about these, but they do just sound absolutely like adorable. I think we have a fake dating and a friends to lovers, potentially, but no, they sound really, really good. And yeah, I mean, I picked them up. And then the other one I grabbed, it was by the till as I was checking out, and that is Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong. This hardback was reduced to £8, so I obviously couldn't leave it. Have I read These Violent Delights yet? No, I haven't. So why did I get this book? I just needed it. I just needed it. The year is 1927 and Shanghai teeters on the edge of revolution. Does this sound like a Chloe book? No, not at all. But I have These Violent Delights, and if I love it, I have the sequel. Right, on to the actual gifts I received. The first one, I still don't know who sent it because it came without a note, and that is When the World Was Ours by Liz Kessler. I put this book on my wish list because I met Liz at a bookish event, and I thought she was so like inspiring in the way she spoke. And this book is based on her granddad's, potentially, experience during the Second World War. We're following 3 kids in 1936 Vienna. They've always been best friends, but then one of the kids gets drawn into the Hitler Youth. So I think it sounds really interesting, and after hearing Liz talk about it, I had to put it on my wish list. So yeah, I don't know who this came from. Please let me know if it was you so I can thank you properly, but I really appreciate it. Next up, people that don't watch my YouTube, so I mean, I'll thank them, but they are probably not here. The first one I got is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. This, in all technicalities, is from my aunt and uncle. They did buy me the same book as somebody else in this stack. I feel like there was a bit of a glitch with my wish list, but they were really nice enough to transfer me the cost of the book to then go into Waterstones and pick something new for myself. So I grabbed something else that was on my wish list. This is book 1 of the Lakefront Billionaires series. I really enjoy her other series. Yeah, so this is the Lakefront Billionaires, and I really enjoy her Dreamland Billionaires, which is the fine print and terms and conditions. I haven't yet read Final Offer, but I will. And yeah, starting a new romance series. What's not to love? And the next 2 are from my colleague Liv at work. I'm really, really grateful to have these. So she bought one from my wish list, which is A Glasgow Kiss by Sophie Gravier. I saw this cover and I was never wanted to read this book, like it doesn't appeal to me at all. And then I actually found out what it was about and just jumped on it. I feel like this is a really old style, like chick lit, I hate that word, but chick lit kind of cover. And if they would have put anything else on the cover, I would have jumped for it. So we're following Zara Smith and Dr. Tom Adams, aka Sugar Daddy. Apparently it's filthy, hilarious, and painfully relatable. The Bridget Jones for the millennial generation. So let's hope it stands up to that claim, because that is a big claim. And then the other book that Liv got me is one that she loves and she wanted me to read, so she bought it for me. You know, forcing, but good forcing. It is Dream Lake by Lisa Kleypas? I'm not quite sure how you would pronounce that. It's romantic, emotional, and I think there's a bit of a ghost story in here as well. So definitely interesting. I talk more about the description in my birthday vlog, but yeah, definitely a strange one. But at the same time, I'm really happy to have it so I can talk to a colleague at work about books. Diving into the big stack of BookTube gifts, the first 2 we have are from the lovely Emily, from Emily Kathleen Reads. She got me Never Lie by Frida McFadden because I loved The Housemaid. Rachel then got me the second book in the Housemaid series, and apart from those, this is the highest rated Frida McFadden book, according to Emily. So I'm here for it. Newlyweds, Trisha and Ethan are searching for the house of their dreams. Trisha stumbles on a collection of audio transcripts from Dr. Hell's sessions with patients. She learns about the terrifying chain of events leading up to the doctor's mysterious disappearance. It sounds interesting, and Frida McFadden has blown it away with The Housemaid, so I assume that's just as good. And then she also got me To Swoon and To Spar by Martha Waters. She got me this because it kind of sounded Bridgerton-esque, and that's definitely what I picked up on from reading the blurb and reading about it. We're following Viscount Penvale, who's been working for years to buy his ancestral home, Trethwick Abbey, back from his estranged uncle. So of course he's thrilled when his uncle announces that he's finally ready to sell, but with one major caveat. Penvale must marry his uncle's ward, Jane Spencer. So yeah, it sounds very Bridgerton-esque, and I'm here for it. Regency romance is apparently my new thing, even though I've read like 3 of them. Next up, we have a lovely gift from Rachel, and that is In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. This is the second book in the Love Light Farm series, and I am so happy I looked into this. When I read Love Like Farms, I gave it 4 stars, but I said that they really needed to develop some of the other storylines. This is the storyline I wanted developed, and yeah, I'm so glad that this exists in a book. It says a grumpy farmer, a no-nonsense social media influencer, a small town of busybodies, and 4 very cute kittens. So if you've read Love Like Farms, you'll understand who we're talking about here, and I genuinely cannot wait for this one. I might have to reshuffle my TBR because this is exactly what I want right now. We then have a gift from Kitty, and that is Business or Pleasure by Rachel Lynn Solomon. Oh, that's the gift note. This is a colleagues to lovers romance. We're following Chandler, who accepts a new ghostwriting gig, penning a memoir for cult actor Finnegan Walsh. However, Chandler knows him because she had her worst ever one-night stand with him. So we've got some sort of cross lines working relationship style romance, and yeah, this one sounds really cool. We then have 2 books from Amy. She has continued my Chestnut Springs collection with book number 5, which is Hopeless. I have still only read the first book, but I have such high expectations for the rest of these that they can do no wrong. He's 35 and all man. I'm 22 and all virgin. He's also my fiance. Correction, my fake fiance. Like, who is not interested in this already? The best thing about these books is they have country playlists in the back, and this one does have a Brett Young song and Any Man of Mine by Shania Twain. It's probably my least favourite playlist in all the books, but we'll take it. Any book that's putting Brett Young in the back of their book just deserves an award. She also got me Do Your Worst by Rosie Danan. That is the author of The Roommate, which I loved last year or the year before. I feel like it was 2022. An occult expert and a disgraced archaeologist walk into a castle. It's giving me the X-Hex plus The Roommate. And yeah, I think this cover, first of all, is gorgeous. Break curses, not hearts. The adventure romance of my dreams. I'm here for it. I realised over the last couple I haven't repeated a thank you to whoever it's from. Obviously, you know I'm so grateful. It's just really hard to repeat the same words in a video, but obviously thank you. Next up, we have a book from Rhiannon, who sent me The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule. This is the story of Ted Bundy through the eyes of Anne, who was a friend. I believe she worked with him. I said that with like no confidence. I'm sure she worked with him. Yes, when Anne Rule and Ted Bundy became friends while working at a Seattle crisis clinic in 1971, she had no idea that her kind, charismatic co-worker would go on to become one of the world's most notorious serial killers. So I have just read, not that long ago, Elizabeth Kendall's memoir about Ted Bundy, The Phantom Prince, and really enjoyed it. Seeing Ted Bundy through a new set of eyes was so fascinating. So I can't wait to read it through Anne's eyes, because she had a very different experience with Ted, and I'm excited to learn some more. We then have a book from Rebecca, which is Fool Me Once by Harlan Coben. I really wanted to get to this one because everyone is telling me to watch the Netflix series, and I wanted to read the book first. I know nothing about this. I just know that everyone says the series is phenomenal. So I want to read it before I watch it. I don't want to watch the series and then wonder what the book's like, but then not enjoy the book because I've been spoiled. I'd rather read this one first. If your husband was murdered and you were a witness, how do you explain it when he appears on your nanny cam? You thought you trusted him, now you can't even trust yourself. It sounds so weird and wacky. I'm here for it. Then a gift from Jem, which seems very depraved and disturbed, is Jack Ketchum's Off Season. So a blurb from Stephen King, however much we can believe this is actually Stephen King. It says, if you read Off Season on Thanksgiving, you probably won't sleep until Christmas. I just want to be concerned by a book. I have not read a horror ever that has actually disturbed me to the point of like being scared, which is what I want out of a horror. I want to be scared. I'm hoping that Jack Ketchum can do it. And Jem also wants to know what I think about this book, so maybe this needs to be prioritized. We then have so many books from Oz. We have 5 books. I really can't believe it. The first one, I should start here, is Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke and Other Misfortunes by Eric LaRocca. Oz was telling me that I had to read one of Eric LaRocca's books, so they jumped on the one that was on my wish list. I know nothing about this apart from its disturbing horror. A whirlpool of darkness churns at the heart of a macabre ballet between 2 lonely young women in an internet chat room in the early 2000s. A darkness that threatens to forever transform them once they finally succumb to their most horrific desires. No idea where that's going. Hopefully I'm disturbed. We then have a completely different vibe, which is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. This is a cowboy romance, or at least a Western style romance. Discover the sizzling brother's best friend small town romance. There we go, small town. I have to have a small town romance every now and again. It really does appeal to me. I was talking for so long that my camera cut me off. I need to wrap up this book haul. But yeah, this is brother's best friend, which is my second favourite trope. Best friend's brother is number 1 for obvious reasons, but Brother's Best Friend we can also get behind. And then 3 books by the same author that I'd heard amazing things about. I can't remember who recommended this to me. It might have been Kayla, but we have Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, and From Here to Eternity, all by Caitlin Doughty. These are 3 non-fiction books looking at how people perceive death, finding humour in death, I guess, and without being too depressing. As I've got older, not that I'm old, but as I have aged slightly over the past couple of years, I've had a lot of strange feelings about death and aging, and I feel like these might comfort me a little bit in a weird way. I know that probably makes no sense, but when I saw humorous books about death, let's give them a go. Let's hope that they satisfy all of the questions I have. Almost at the end now of you lovely people. The next one I have here is The Bus on Thursday by Shirley Barrett. I have no idea who recommended this to me. At the point of getting this, I still didn't really know what it was about. I believe it's a weird horror, and it looks like it's told so strangely, which is very, very exciting. I love a book that's just formatted weird. Like, look at that, there's nothing on there. So according to the blurb, it is riotously funny, deeply unsettling and surprisingly poignant. Shirley Barrett's The Bus on Thursday is a disconcerting story of small town life and a wicked, weird, wild ride. I'm here for wicked, weird and wild. Next up we have Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. This is book number 2 in the Magnolia Park series. I absolutely love the covers of these, they just make me so happy. I have not yet read Magnolia Parks, but me and the mother-in-law have been talking about it in quite some detail, so I am excited to pick up the series. I'm trying to get hold of all the original covers while they're still available, because the new covers are pretty vile in comparison. So this one was on my wish list so that I could have the nice covers, and I will be completing the rest of the series. Whenever I actually pick them up is a different question, but I'm so grateful to Freya for enabling me with my weird cover fascination. And then finally we have 2 books from Sharon and Becca, as in Becca from the Becca Fowl and Mama Fowl. I have already read one of them, which is good for me, but the one I've already read is After Volume 2 by Anna Todd. This is the graphic novel of the After series, and I really enjoyed reading this one. I won't tell you too much about it, clearly I will save that for my February wrap up, because I actually read this last night. But this is a really, really cheesy but fun story about Hardin and Tessa. Tessa is the straight-laced A-star student, and Hardin is the bad boy covered in tattoos and piercings. I prefer graphic novel depiction of Hardin over movie depiction of Hardin, even like down to the facial piercings that they've got right in the graphic novel but not in the movie. Really silly things to be concerned about, but yeah, I'm very happy that I now have this on my shelves in my very limited graphic novel collection. But if I'm going to collect any graphic novels, it's going to be After. And the final book is Throne of the Fallen by Kerri Maniscalco. This one was really, really intriguing to me. I have only read so far Stalking Jack the Ripper by this author, but I loved how it was written. The writing style I just thought was amazing. I am going to be reading Kingdom of the Wicked this month, so hopefully this will set me up quite right to pick up this series. I'm not sure if it's related to the rest. I'm pretty sure it's a separate story, but I'm happy to be corrected. But all it says on the back is she didn't want Prince Charming, she wanted the demon. This cover is just gorgeous. I genuinely, oh my god, did I open this in my birthday vlog? Maybe I did and I've just forgotten because I was overwhelmed. It says he was no jaguar, he was a wolf. And then House Envy. Ooh, ooh. I don't know if I took that off in the birthday vlog, but that's just made me even more excited because I love a pretty cover. But yes, Becca is enabling my Kerri Maniscalco fixation right now, and she said this was easily my favourite so far, so hopefully I feel the same. But there we have it, that is my mammoth book haul for January. I've said it many times throughout the video, but thank you so much to anyone who sent a gift my way. I'm just so grateful for the little community I have over here, and anyone who felt the need to send a gift is just such an amazing person in my book, and I will love you forever. I won't hold you much longer because I've been filming for about 45 minutes, so I want to go and get a cup of tea. That was completely irrelevant knowledge, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I was just about to close off the video, but I remembered I need to do my advent calendar. If you didn't watch my January book haul, what I'm doing throughout at least the first 6-7 months of the year is putting aside books from my book hauls to wrap up as my advent calendar for December, because I have crazy bad luck in picking advent calendars. So I need to pick out books that I bought myself this month, because I refuse to do it with gifts. It feels rude to re-wrap up gifts for myself. Okay, I'm gonna go rogue because I know I won't prioritize it. I'm gonna wrap up the Invocations. And I could make it my like Christmas Eve book because it's a stunning book. So I think I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm also going to do That's Not My Name by Megan Lally because I think this is the one I'm most, out of the ones I've bought myself, I have the most potential to forget I hauled this. And then I'm also going to do Betting on You by Lynn Painter. Technically this was bought with a gift card, but kind of still bought it myself, and the person who got me the gift card doesn't watch BookTube. So I'm going to wrap this one up too. So that is the 3 books I'm going to be setting aside and reopening in December. Right, now I've got that out of the way. Thank you guys very, very much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!